Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteers held a handover ceremony for 2 schools that were rebuilt by Tzu Chi following Cyclone Nargis. In Taiwan, about 300 volunteers and 120 medical staff prepare for the upcoming medical center accreditation at the Hualien TCH Hospital. And we take a look at a firefly recovery project carried out by New Taipei City's Chongde Elementary School in Taiwan. In Myanmar, following Cyclone Nargis in 2008, many schools in Yangon were left severely damaged. To give students the chance to continue their schooling, Tzu Chi decided to restore 3 schools. Recently, Tzu Chi held a handover ceremony at the Yangon No. 1 High School to officially return 2 schools to the Myanmar government.
2, 3.
In 2008, following Cyclone Nargis, parts of the No. 4 Along High School in Yangon were left severely damaged. Thankfully, Tzu Chi was there to help. After more than a year of hard work, the reconstruction work sponsored by Tzu Chi was completed. Today, Tzu Chi's building council committees and local government officials gathered together to celebrate the occasion. Other than No. 4 Along High School, Tzu Chi has also sponsored the restoration of Yangon No. 1 High School. To express their thanks, students of the high school took 2 months to practice the sign language song Fulfill My Dream. From being unfamiliar to the Chinese lyrics to singing it perfectly on stage, through their performance of Fulfill My Dream, the children hope to thank Tzu Chi volunteers for their dedication. Today, the school is officially returned to the Myanmar government. The Chief Minister of Myanmar says words cannot express his gratitude to Master Zheng Yan.
Thank you, Master Zheng Yan, for taking care of the children in Myanmar.
I came here almost every month to check on the progress. I hope all of you can cherish this school.
Prior to the completion of the school, Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Mingde traveled to Myanmar every month to supervise the construction. However, knowing that these children can now go to school free from worries, he says everything was worthwhile.
Walking inside the Yangon No. 1 High School, other than brand new buildings, we can also see the liveliness and happiness of the children. Thanks to everyone's compassion, these students now have the chance to continue with their schooling.
Continuing on our last report, at the school handover ceremony held at the Yangon No. 1 High School, students put on a sign language performance of Fulfill My Dream to thank Tzu Chi for giving them a safe place to study. Let's take a look.
Wiping the windows and dusting the floors, students of Yangon No. 1 High School are all smiles because starting from today, these students will be studying inside brand new classrooms. Inside the multi-purpose hall, monuments are placed side by side with words written in Chinese, English, and Burmese to record the affinity formed between the school and Tzu Chi. In the past, students of Yangon No. 1 High School study inside classroom made from corrugated iron. In 2008, an electrical fire destroyed many parts of the school, followed by the devastating Cyclone Nargis. To continue their education, students had to study in classrooms that leaked whenever it rained. Luckily, Tzu Chi decided to reach out with a helping hand. After 3 years of reconstruction, the new school buildings were completed. Seeing the Chinese lyrics of Fulfill My Dream on stage with her classmates is Kim Ta-jin, who suffers from laryngeal cancer. With the permission from her doctor, she arrived at the school to join the performance.
I feel tired if I sing too loudly, so I only sing quietly.
Although Kim Ta-jin went through chemotherapy earlier in the morning, she still insisted on attending the ceremony.
My family members wouldn't let me attend today's event. Only my grandmother supported me because she likes to sing too. I told them that it is only a one-day event and I am doing it on behalf of school.
To reciprocate Tzu Chi's volunteers' love and care, these students seize every opportunity to practice their movements as they hope to make the school's handover ceremony a special one.
In New Zealand, starting in June of this year, Tzu Chi New Zealand chapter has partnered up with the Budgeting Services Center in Aotearoa, Auckland to hand out bi-weekly aid to residents in need. At the first aid distribution on June 12, 25 families received the love and support from Tzu Chi.
In Aotearoa, New Zealand Tzu Chi volunteers assembled the 15 household items donated by local businesses into a care package that will soon be handed over to families in need. Every one of the 15 items is carefully placed with a spirit of respect and love, which these Taiwanese Tzu Chi volunteers have brought with them to New Zealand half a world away.
I'm Louis. We are from the Aotearoa Budget Service, and we definitely appreciate your gift of the food parcel tonight, and I know very sure that they appreciate it. And if this is going to be an ongoing thing, yes, and it's going to make a difference to their life.
Working with the South Auckland Community Development and Safety Department and Aotearoa Budgeting Services, volunteers helped 25 families at this most recent aid distribution. They plan on continuing the aid bi-weekly to help ensure those families in need of assistance find it.
In Guangzhou Province, China, a volunteer training seminar was held at the Tzu Chi Tianhe office for the first time and was joined by some 450 trainees from 4 different provinces.
Under the witness and guidance of Guangzhou Tzu Chi volunteers, a group of trainees are officially joining the Tzu Chi family. This is also the first time the newly established Tzu Chi's Tianhe office held a volunteer training seminar. Over 450 China Tzu Chi volunteers from 4 different provinces traveled to Guangzhou to join local counterparts to hold a study session with global volunteers via internet.
For Hainan volunteers, I think home visitations are something we still need to improve on. Through today's exchanges, I think I have learned how to conduct a better home visitation.
Under the detailed care of Guangzhou Tzu Chi volunteers, Tzu Chi's mission continues to expand to surrounding cities, thus a larger venue was needed. A convenient and stable location that was also large enough to accommodate everyone became a goal for Guangzhou volunteers.
In these past years, everyone has planted deep roots in our local communities and inspired businesses to donate funds to help us build this office. It's wonderful that China Tzu Chi volunteers have a chance to train before they visit Tzu Chi's spiritual homeland. With a solid foundation, this office also helps to further spread Tzu Chi's message here in Guangzhou.
To prepare for the events of the day, 3 senior staff from Tzu Chi Foundation also traveled to China to add to the humanitarian spirit of the event. Listening to each other share their experiences, everyone goes home fully absorbed in the Tzu Chi Dharma and looks forward to planting these ideals and seeds of love.
Next, we meet a Hainan couple and other volunteers who travel from far and wide to participate in the training seminar held at the Tzu Chi Tianhe office.
It's barely 5 in the morning, but Guangzhou Tzu Chi volunteers are already waiting at the train station to welcome fellow volunteers, as today marks the start of Tzu Chi's quarterly volunteer training program. In 2010, Guangzhou Tzu Chi volunteers first arrived in Guangxi's Nanning. From that point, they traveled westward to Liaozhou, Laibing, and Baise City, northward to Hunan, Changsha, and even southbound to Hainan's Haikou City. 4 times a year, volunteers will return to Guangzhou province to continue their education and learn from one another. By trains, by buses, or by planes, volunteers from 4 provinces conquer the distance with whatever method is available. Among the participants were a Hainan Tzu Chi volunteer couple who overcame several obstacles to be able to participate in the blessing-filled event.
We want to learn from our fellow Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. We absorb so much more at these seminars in Guangzhou. My husband was discharged from the hospital on the 13th, and we arrived here on the 14th. The doctor cleared us for leaving because I told him we'll come back to the hospital when we are done with the training.
慈济给我们这么好、这么专业的平台。
Tzu Chi is such a great and professional platform to do good deeds. It teaches us to practice compassion. In this lifetime, meeting Tzu Chi is the best thing that happened to me. I'm 36 years old, and I plan to use the rest of my life to be a good Tzu Chi volunteer.
No matter the obstacles faced, opportunities to absorb the Dharma from fellow volunteers are precious as each participant takes home ideals and concepts to spread in their local communities.
In Taiwan, to prepare for the upcoming medical center accreditation at the Hualien TCH Hospital, some 300 volunteers and a team of 120 medical staff assembled at the hospital over the weekend to do a thorough cleanup of the premises.
它会按嘛哈，上面就有手纹，然后用酒精再擦一下，这样。
Putting down their stethoscope and picking up a cleaning cloth instead, Hualien TCH Hospital Superintendent Gao Ruihe and Deputy Superintendent Liao led 120 hospital staff to prepare for the upcoming medical center evaluation. Joined by over 300 volunteers from Hualien and Yilan counties, they carefully scrub all of the equipment, ensuring no corner is neglected.
We managed to mobilize 120 volunteers. Everyone is more than happy to help out. They say this is their hospital too, so we all want to ensure the hospital will pass the accreditation.
Fully equipped as they enter the operating room, these doctors are not performing surgery but cleaning. With everyone's contribution, it is hoped that the hospital can successfully pass the 5th medical center accreditation.
The accreditation is important to all of us, so everyone is ensuring that the hospital is left clean and spotless.
Superintendent Gao Ruihe also visits each floor to thank the volunteers personally, as their help and contributions have made them the hospital's strongest pillar of support.
To ensure that residents living in Taiwan's remote mountainous areas have access to quality medical care, Central Team member hold a free clinic once a month at Miaoli's Nandrong. The most recent free clinic was joined by the superintendent of Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital and staff from the Miaoli's Health Bureau.
Traveling to Nandrong's Donghe village, team of vehicles first drive the winding roads before volunteers need to get out and walk the rest of the way. This house made of corrugated metal is the home of Xie Mao Qing, who lives alone and suffers from high blood pressure and diabetes. Attending the Miaoli Free Clinic for the first time, Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital Superintendent Jian Shouxin gives Xie a careful checkup.
186、110啊！我血压这么高啊！血压的药你有没有吃啊？
Seeing how each patient is treated as family by the team of volunteers, staff from the Miaoli County Health Bureau are moved and gratified by what they have seen.
Our township's clinic has only one attending doctor, and therefore we are unable to travel to these villages to check on the health of their residents. We are very grateful to Tzu Chi for holding these meaningful events.
At every house, loving care is showered upon the patients. As for Jian Shouxin, he was impressed by the unselfish dedication shown by Tima and Tzu Chi volunteers.
Thanks to the care of our Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, from what I have seen, these undeveloped and the poor areas can entertain and hope for a brighter future.
By bringing love and medical care together, Tzu Chi volunteers are doing their best to care for the health of those that need it the most.
In our continuing series reports on fireflies in Taiwan, we take a look at a firefly recovery project carried out in New Taipei City's Chongde Elementary School. With industrialization and urbanization, fireflies have become only members in many areas. Thankfully, 2 decades ago, teachers at the Chongde Elementary School began a program to preserve the local firefly population.
Though night falls, the city is still illuminated by lighting everywhere. However, the artificial light may be harming nature's own light-emitting creatures. The Taiwanese call fireflies golden fire ladies or lighting fairies. Currently, Taiwan has 65 different species of fireflies. However, their population is dropping due to urbanization. Fortunately, over the past 2 decades, activists have started preservation programs to protect fireflies' habitats.
To create a better breeding ground, we must first improve the water quality and provide them with sufficient food.
Aquatic firefly larvae feeds on shellfish, so that must be available in a healthy habitat. As well, the water quality should be clean and free of chemicals. In New Taipei City's Chongde Elementary School, over the past 2 decades, teachers have led their students in a firefly recovery project by creating a wetland for breeding the insects right on campus.
There are many species of fireflies in our environment, so we collect their eggs and hatch the larvae. When they enter the pupation stage, we then put them into the breeding pond on campus.
To save a species, we not only preserve the species itself, but also its living environment and habitat.
The larvae of the fireflies look like caterpillars. Following repeated molting, larvae will pupate and metamorphose into an adult with the capability of flying. Here we can see several fish tanks, which are home to the aquatic firefly larvae. Before the larvae metamorphose into winged adults, they live in these containers.
We are mainly restoring a species of aquatic fireflies called Luciola ficta. This year we have made remarkable progress.
Aquatic Luciola ficta and terrestrial Luciola hydrophilia are 2 common fireflies found in Taiwan. Breeding both species is easy.
As part of
the recovery project, the science teacher of the Chongde Elementary holds a class at the firefly breeding pond, where students have a chance to observe the life cycle of the firefly and learn the importance of conservation.
We should not catch fireflies so that our future generations can see these beautiful creatures.
This is fireflies' preferred living environment. For aquatic fireflies, after mating, they often lay eggs along the ditch where moss grows.
If you want to watch these glowing insects, don't forget to turn off your flashlight or cover it with a piece of red cellophane.
Most fireflies are less sensitive to red light. It means they cannot see red light.
The Firefly Recovery Project has successfully brought back one of yesteryear's simpler pleasures.
The new Kuala Lumpur Jingsi Hall in Malaysia, which is still under construction, was designed to coexist in harmony with the environment. Many eco-friendly concepts have been incorporated into the building's design, which won the recognition of the country's Green Building Index.
The gold rating awarded by Malaysia's Green Building Index is the highest recognition given to the country's eco-friendly buildings. Kuala Lumpur's Jingsi Hall is the 16th non-residential building in the country to receive such an honor.
If you look carefully, you actually have one big garden right in front of the city hall. On top of that, you actually have a lot of trees planting surrounding, and the material they use is paver, increase the permeability, water that actually run off. At the same time, you actually reduce the heat island effect, reduce water, and at the same time, you have used a lot of recycle material.
The building employs natural ventilation cooling systems to cut down on air conditioning use. Ample natural lighting also helps reduce energy cost. By focusing on environmental friendly and sustainable operations, the building strives to coexist with nature.
The main reason is, in long term, is help environmental protection, and is also one of the Tzu Chi's mission.
The building hopes to set an example for Malaysia's green construction standards in the future.
Alumna of Hualien Tzu Chi University Xu Ying-en did not go back to Malaysia after graduation. Instead, she and her classmates started an organic farm and also a vegetarian restaurant right in Hualien, Taiwan, where they actually promote environmentalism.
Unloading crates of fresh vegetables, a workday is beginning.
String beans, okras, loofahs, and bitter melons. We only just harvested them this morning.
25-year-old Xu Ying-en cannot say enough about vegetables. A passionate environmentalist, Xu sells no ordinary eggs at her restaurant in Hualien. All her egg-laying chickens are treated humanely, and they eat vegetable feed only.
We don't want to just turn it into a slogan or a way to market ourselves. We hope to really practice what we preach, which is local environmental protection.
All dishes served here use only ingredients collected from local organic farms, which are sent directly to the kitchen. Since the distance each ingredient travels has decreased, so does their carbon emission signature. Though going organic means higher costs, Xu's customers appreciate her dedication to the environment. Originally from Malaysia, Xu Ying-en became attached to Taiwan while pursuing a college degree here. She first became environmentally conscious while studying at Tzu Chi University, where she and her classmates promoted a Do Not Use Disposable Utensils campaign.
It was about 8 years ago that I was first made aware of environmentalism. I then started to identify with the idea deeply.
It was then that she also became a vegetarian. During her senior year, she and her classmates decided to start an organic farm.
I think she is very courageous to take on this type of work. Take Hong Kong, which is where I'm from, for example. I don't think too many people would want to do this.
To run both the farm and the restaurant at the same time keeps Xu Ying-en busy. At night, she still has to take care of her international volunteering crew back at the farm.
Whenever I have to take care of them, as I have to provide them with food and a place to sleep just like a mother, I am often reminded of my days back in Tzu Chi University, where either parents would watch over us and make us overseas students feel right at home.
Her 4 years of college education gave Xu Ying-en more than just knowledge, but also a direction in life.
I am now more tolerant of others than before. I have learned to care for the environment. As I accumulated experiences, one day I realized I am not the same old me anymore.
With faith and conviction, Xu Ying-en stepped into the real world and is now pursuing her dreams.
We stay in Taiwan at the end of the show to make sure medical staff at the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital can stay healthy while serving their duties. Central District Honorary Board members partnered up with the hospital's dietitians and came up with a healthy menu for the hospital's cafeteria. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching the headlines. Goodbye.